Welcome to Kay's Views, where no topic is off topic, and this is your host Kay. I have these beautiful women today. We're going to be discussing dating in the city, single. So let's go around and introduce ourselves. Starting from you, darling.
Hello, I'm Lee. Hello out there to everybody in the world.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Jess with the mess.
I'm T. I'm Amanda.
So we're going to be discussing about what's our experience, individually of course, dating now versus a decade ago. Because obviously it's changed a lot. So let's start with you, Lee.
I would say versus 10 years ago, I'm less of a participant in the dating scene. I don't date as much as I used to.
And why?
I find that it is hard to connect to people. Either I'm not interested in what they have to say, or the back and forth of, my favorite color is this, and I do this type of work, and I don't have any other body, just to find out, 5 weeks down the line, it's all flipped and it's something else. I prefer just to not deal with that.
So what do you think the changes were that made you feel like this now?
People are much more self-centered, I feel. It's all about and I guess it should be, but it's very like rat race in the dating. Like, if you don't have a $1,000 job, and you don't drive an Audi, and you don't drive a Cadillac, and you don't have your own condo yet, and all of this other stuff, you're no good for me. If your nails aren't done every week, and your hair isn't this way, you're no good. If your body doesn't have the big booty that you got down in Miami, I don't prefer to talk about that stuff. I don't prefer to talk about what you can go and grab out the store. But I don't fault anybody who lives that life. Okay. It's just not my life, and that's where it seems like a lot of people are.
That's interesting. What about you, Rach?
I think I'm more intentional about my dating life now. I think I would put out a wide and date like whoever was interested in me. I would give them a chance. And I think now I'm pretty like, some would say picky, but it's more like more selective about who I'm going to just let take up my time and my space in dating. So that's what's changed about me. I think in terms of like now and like over the past 10 years, in terms of actually meeting someone, I think it's become much more difficult. I think people are very weird in person because everyone has a very interesting online persona. A lot of ways that you meet people now, it is online, which is really unusual to me. Like, I used to go out with my friends, we meet people out, in different places, and now it's like primarily if you're trying to date someone, that isn't the way you meet somebody. Like, you will be out and you might hang out with some people, but you're not actually like getting to know people in that way, in a sense that will become a relationship, or that could become a friendship, or somebody that you actually know more about as time progresses. Like, I was surprised, I was off the market for a couple of years, and I was surprised coming back on the market. Then you like exchange information, and the first thing they ask you about is your Instagram profile. And once they get your Instagram profile, you're not talking to nobody no more. Like, they are just looking at your pictures, looking at your stories, and they don't actually want to interact with you in a real way and get to know a deeper side of you. So it's been disappointing, honestly. Lately, because it takes a lot more work, in my opinion, to actually get to like a deeper sense of someone. And I'm somebody that doesn't like the small talk. I think similar to Lee, it's like I'm not interested in all the back and forth stupid debates that's happening online about like, well, you got to have this and this and this. I'm like talking about like there's real stuff going on in the world. I want to talk about that. Exactly. I want to talk about how we moving forward and like how I'm going to progress with somebody and build with somebody. And there's a lot of people who are just not really trying to do that right now. So.
I agree with you, actually. I'm going to get back to you on that one. What about you, Jess?
So, reflecting back over, I guess, a decade, I was coming out of a situationship, and that was a whole thing. And I was celibate for like, I want to say about 4 to 5 years, and and then I got into a relationship, and I'm just coming out of it. So I guess I'm kind of green in the understanding of dating, and just like, okay, what do I really like? I know what I'm able to, to give, and to how to present myself, but it's just like, I don't know exactly what, I guess, the person on the other side of the screen or the phone or just like the table has to offer, and what exactly they want to offer on the table. Do I want it? Do I want to taste of it? Do I want to go into it? Like, it's just like, it's a lot. I'm very much of a sapiosexual, so like everything is kind of mind over matter at this point. And dealing with people, like my energy is very precious. I have but so much to give, because I give so much in that regard. Just like, if you're gonna give me something, give it to me good. We can talk about all the things
reciprocate them.
Exactly. Reciprocate the energy. If I'm giving you good energy, give me that back. Don't give me everything under the sun. If you're trying to get help and you're trying to overcome some stuff, that's perfectly fine. But don't give me all of that and then expect me to do something with it, because I surely can't. I'm not a miracle worker. I'm a social worker, but I'm not a miracle worker.
I'm a social worker, but I'm not a miracle worker. Okay. What about you, Tamara?
I got a song.
Say it.
Okay. 10 years ago, promises were so hard.
Are you that?
Wait a minute.
Hey.
Finish. Okay, so 10 years ago, right, compared to now, I think I was more social, right? I was more like in a group of people and peers, and I went out and I was like on the scene, off the scene, had a serious relationship, had a few serious relationships. But now my space is very confined. So I'm never in the right place at the right time. And when I meet people, people are definitely, they have motives, right? So they want to find out what you do so they can find out what they can get. Mm-hmm. And that for me is very scary, because I have like a list of things that's very precious to me. For one, like when I want a guy again, I want a serious relationship, right? But I want a serious relationship where they live in their own space and I live in mine, right? So we could appreciate the time that we have together a little bit more. And not only that, because I do have children, and I mean, my children are on the upper scale of age, right? They're like young adults, but I don't really care to interact with like mingle both. Like, I care about their space and their time and what they want to do. And when they were smaller, maybe my view of having a serious relationship was a little different. It was like, we a package deal. But now I just want to respect their space, and I just want something for myself to do on the side, but I'm not in the right social groups.
That's interesting. Kids play a big role in the relationship, especially your package deal, even though they're adults.
No, we're not.
You don't feel like you're
not anymore. Yeah, they big. My 21-year-old is not interested in seeing anybody that I'm dating. All right, if it happens, it happens, but it's not a big thing. My 15-year-old is really about her life, so it's not really something that I need to commingle.
Okay.
Now, when they were smaller, yeah, we want to do things collectively and. Yeah, let's all do something. Do you have kids? I have kids. Let's come on, let's be the Brady Bunch. But now, no. I just want somebody that I could go out with, and we could do the cute things that are fun in a relationship, and you could like actually be there for somebody in their space, like, and support them, and they could support you. And it's not always physically, but it's mentally is a lot, And sometimes you need somebody just to talk to about the things that you go to. And your girls are nice, but you need the perspective of a guy too.
How about you, Amanda?
Well, 10 years ago, I had just had my son, and I was with the father of my child, and but for some reason, he just turned me off. Like I didn't want to be with him anymore. Like I felt like he wasn't.
You feel like you were outgrowing him?
Well, I had always outgrown him. Like he was never stepping up to the plate, and he wasn't being a man. And I think even prior to 10 years ago, I had a history of trying to save people. and that had more to do with me than them. And fast forward 10 years now, you know, it was like I was trying to save people, and then I would get into relationships with guys that really wanted to be with me, but I didn't want them. And the guys that were kind of unavailable emotionally, I wanted them. And it was like, it's like a internal conflict. And so like right now I'm just trying to like heal, take care of myself. I just got out of something with someone again. I was trying to save them, and you know, and I'm 41. What am I doing? So it's like now it's like, okay, do you really need to be in a relationship right now?
Yeah. So it's almost like I get it, because sometimes I attract those who need to be healed, and I had to figure out, look, no, I need to be a little healed, and we could heal each other. But then I was the only one that was a healer.
Yeah.
So that could be draining emotionally.
Yeah, it drained me a lot.
And it
financially, emotionally, physically, it was killing me.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like working on me. Let's go to the gym. Let me eat right. Let me focus on my mother and my son and my priorities. And just if a relationship happens, it happens. If it comes, it comes. But I'm not gonna chase it.
No, I agree with you. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Yeah.
If we're not healed in certain things, how can we be at least close to 100 in a relationship?
Exactly.
So I get that. And also, I feel, and I love your opinion, I feel like we're living in just a hooking up world now.
It's called hookup culture.
Yeah. And it's challenging. So what are your opinions on that, ladies? Yeah, which I think is cool if you want it with someone, but when it's happening and you continuously approach it, being approached by someone like that, then it becomes like, I'm tired and you don't want to keep being approached. I don't know if I have a sign on my forehead sometimes that says, hey, if you're taking, approach me, because we could just hook up. It's tired. It's fatiguing for me.
It's tiresome. But I think you can recognize, whether you want to believe it or not, when you're in a hookup situation. The signs are always there when you're in a hookup. And you give permission for that to happen to you by allowing it to happen. And sometimes you might feel like that's better than nothing. And for some people, that's fine. You know, hookup culture, that's what I want anybody to be tagging along. This is what fits into my life. But if that's not what fits into your life, the signs are there for you to make decisions. And if they're not there clearly, you have to learn to ask the questions out of your mouth.
And I think because of the hookup culture, most men feel like every woman is down for that. Leading though, they play the whole like love bombing thing and make sure that they do and say the right things, and it's just really a hookup. So it's almost like you have to be constantly very vigilant and on your detective mode, which is, again,
I think the problem is when people are not clear with each other, right? So like a lot of times when you speak to people now, they don't put up their out front intentions, but you got to feel it out and be like, oh, this is what this is about. I told you this, I'm not on that. You know what I'm saying? And you have to block it. But like if people was just 100%, because I feel like when I talk to anybody, I'm 1,000% me. Like there's no hidden agenda, nothing. Like I'll tell you exactly what it is. But sometimes the people that I meet with are not on the same mode, even though they look like they are, right? So you got to get past the physicality of what they present themselves as and get down to what it actually is. And that could be disheartening, especially when you meet somebody and they're smart, they're handsome, and you know they seem like they got it going for themselves and they seem like a great catch, but then they're not really there for you and they're playing with your emotions. Or like for instance, and I don't want to jump too far ahead, but like I have never ever in my years on earth solicited a dick pic, but here they go. Like,
oh yes,
never. Not even led up to. It's always catch me by surprise. Like, why are you sending me that? Like, yo, we're having like the most honest of conversations, and here's my dick, right? Like, what is that? So when you're talking to somebody and you're getting to know them, you know that that's not the type of person that's going to be on the receiving end of that and be like, whoa, this is it's not for that person.
Well,
That's
you-
what
I feel like
that's
Oh,
what
we
comes
need to
with getting to
Sorry,
know
go ahead,
people.
Rich.
I guess, and I don't know. To me, like if you have an honest conversation, I guess we're going on a little bit of a tangent, but if you have an honest conversation with a man, and like not even anywhere talking about sex, and all of a
Right.
sudden he sends a dick pic. To me, that's a sign that
That's
he's afraid of intimacy, like he's not ready for any type of like real commitment, because that's what I'm sick of. Like, I'm tired of the situationships, or like these men who are acting like they want a real relationship, but then when it actually comes to an intimate part, and I'm not talking about sex,
Exactly.
I'm talking about intimacy, which is when you're like sharing, you're becoming deep with somebody, you're really feeling them out as a person, and then they run away. And that's when it's like, what was all of this then? What was everything that you were portraying? And again, I think it goes back to like the healing conversation, like what you're saying, like you're trying to heal like in yourself and put love into yourself and pour things into yourself. And what I'm finding a lot is like women are out here trying to heal ourselves. We try to do the work, and we're hoping and expecting the same from whoever we partner with. And so the thing about it is, though, I think that men are like, maybe some of them are trying to heal themselves, but you know, I'm expecting actually at my big age that men are doing this. Like they're doing the work that I'm doing, because like if I'm going through these life experiences, I'm expecting someone else who has also been going through these life experiences and realizing and coming to a point of like, oh damn, I need to heal my inner child. Like this is why I've been out here acting a fool,
Healing together.
and like but I'm not encountering that, and I'm like, wait, how am I getting to this level and you not? Why are you comfortable staying in this nascent stage of life?
Because women must allow that, right?
No, it's not about our allowances.
I think some men do want to do the work,
Right.
but a lot of men are broken and they don't know how to do the work, and they're surrounded by people that don't encourage them to do the work,
And
and they're in an environment that fosters, well, from my experience, fosters negativity
Right.
for the male friends.
from his homegirl.
Their upbringing from family to
Yeah, it was just and then and there's a stigma attached to getting help and getting therapy and healing, and it's not manly, and there's a whole conversation about if I try to get help, if I try to get healed, what will people think of me? Will they judge me?
Yeah, that's that new word, but simp. I'm a simp.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's so stupid. I'm like, no, you're not a simp if you have feelings, or you want to take care of your woman, or you
Exactly.
you want to be open about stuff that's going on in life. Like, I don't even understand. Like, I don't know. I'm over it.
If we was outside of New York, we'd be all married right now, because everybody would be like, at
I just
least
want
on
someone
their
else to
first
say
report.
it, because
No, I don't know that's true. I'm not from New York.
Well, she's not
No,
from
but
New York.
you're in
But
New
I
York.
think
Don't
people
New
that
York,
live
right?
like south of Virginia, like are married at our big
And
age.
divorced.
All they gotta do is put
No,
a
they're
public grant
divorced.
and they're married.
But not even just
And they're
the-
not
they
in good
still don't get
marriages
married
to
and
marry.
well, I don't know about all of them, but I know a lot of people in our age group just from living back and forth through family life, right? From like most of my family either in New York or Georgia, and at our age, like they're married, and it seems like in my peer groups in New York, they're not married.
Exactly.
But did you know that I was doing research and we're considered one of the top 5 worst cities to be single, and number 1 was Seattle, best to be single. So, are we relocating, girls?
No, eventually. And also,
He's not here.
what population of people are they talking about? I hate those
Exactly. I
surveys.
always think those things are a little off. Like, what's the demographic? According to New York City, we're outnumbered by men. I'm like, okay,
That's the
so
same. You got to work on yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, right? But you're working on yourself and you're healing yourself, and like you are bumping into all types of creative characters. So meaning like we out here working on ourselves. Women are shining. They are like they got their money together. They got their life together. They got their own places, and they meeting people that's married. Why not?
Opposites attract. The more you work on yourself, the dingier man you will find.
I get approached by so many married men, which I appreciate their honesty. Or men.
They actually are honest with you. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Where's the champagne?
Right.
Yeah, I mean they're actually honest, but it's still like, oh my god, what do I like really? Like I don't have time for that. And then not only that, a lot of younger men too. And I have an age preference. So I don't know, how young would you guys go? Do you have an age preference?
I like to date around my age. I wouldn't want to date someone younger or much older either.
Well, how old would you, how far? 10
Maybe
years
like
older?
5 years. I wouldn't want to
5
go
years in
too.
both directions?
5 years older.
Okay.
I would prefer somebody around my age. Like
Same
younger,
here.
I'm just.
You give it 5 more years. Then you'll be back.
I did it to myself.
Well, I will. But my also thing about dating older, because I know a lot of women talk about wanting to date older, but I am concerned about health issues, stuff like that. Like if I'm looking to be partner or like married or something like that, that comes with it. Like my sister married older, and she's dealing with that. You know, like that. That's
How much
a part
older,
of
if
the
you don't mind me asking?
I think maybe either 10 or 15 years older. Which is, I mean, it's not like he's healthy.
Yeah.
He's healthy for his age, but it's not. It can, but I'm looking also to date around somebody my age who is healthy. Like, who will be able to do the stuff that I can do. You know, that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm in that realm, and also dating younger. I'm still on this like. The men who are actually trying to do the work are at my age right now.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping like that once you're at my age, like you're actually trying to do more than what the younger men I was dating
Exactly.
weren't
Been
doing.
in my
You dated
So-
younger?
yeah.
Huh?
You dated younger?
I have not dated younger.
Oh.
I have not dated.
I wouldn't call it dating. I just call it exploring.
Yeah.
On my
It
end,
didn't work out well.
it
Definitely didn't work out well for me.
definitely not dating. I wouldn't call it dating. I would just say exploring for 1, 2, 3 nights, and then that's it. And I was like, you gotta go home.
But was it fun though?
The stamina.
Oh,
You gonna cut yourself out?
wow. We need a voice of reason from a male perspective.
I don't know if it's a voice of reason ever here.
Oh no, listen. First of all,
He loves having
I do with artists. That's not even the worst thing thrown at me this week. So.
Oh my God.
That wasn't a bad. I'm just saying.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
didn't say it was a voice of reason. It's not necessarily a voice of reason.
Like no, like Tamara said, I'm straight up honest. Like if I'm just interested in something like the sexual, I'm very honest. I don't want no miscommunication. I got bigger things in my life. So if you know I communicated clearly, and I know that just meeting you, I'm not looking for anything serious, then we can have some fun. And yes, of course, I explored a couple of young guys. The youngest was 25, which that was weird to me, because I have nephews. Sorry, Mom.
But your mom watching a podcast.
She don't say half of that, but my mom supports me anyway. That's why I love her. So, but my thing is, you have to be honest. But sometimes even honesty, like yeah, I like honesty. Oh, listen, you're cool, and then it changes.
Right.
And I always say, if you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, let me know, get out, because I'm not looking for that. And I had to do that with someone recently that I felt like was cut. They were catching feelings. And I was like, no, this is not what we decided. I was very straight up with you.
That's exclusive. Like I'm not into that. Like, and I'm very clear about that off top. Like I love love. Like it's
same here.
I love romance. I love surprising somebody and being into them. Like I love that kind of stuff. I'm just not
the spark in the eye when you cook, and then sometimes I feel, I don't know if you guys feel like it, sometimes I feel like, is it meant for me to be in another serious relationship? Would I be okay?
I feel like that's
what I'm doing.
Give up. Like,
That's what I'm
when you're
doing.
not getting what you want, then you say those things and you put those things in place. But if you were getting what you needed and what you deserve, then you wouldn't feel like that. I feel like,
But do I have to go out and look for it? It should just happen. happen, you know,
But
naturally.
you do have to be in the right places at the right time.
You have to be in alignment.
Yeah.
Right.
Tamara said something earlier. Stuff together, and you have your own things, and you really don't need to depend on a man. Then the role switches, and it's now, what can I get out of this woman? They find out you live by yourself. They can't wait to get in your home and start seeing the stuff you got. Oh, this is nice. You got this. You bought this. And then now it's like they don't feel the need to, you know, do the partnership things with you. It's just what can they get. And I'm so tired of that.
Absolutely.
I know, like, I'm very tired of that. You know, and then when they don't, and I'm not giving up no ends to no Negro that can't give up no ends. I'm not. And I don't go backwards in a relationship. So once I call it quits, that's it.
That's it.
Okay, so I refuse to be in that race because I don't like the whole breakup thing, but I will get it done.
Yes.
I don't like feeling like you're being taken advantage of or used. You know, I've seen a lot of my good friends. They go out and they buy things for these guys and they're very nice to them. And these are good women. They would be a prize to any man. And they are just not respected for that. And the fact that men cannot tell apart the good women from the women that are really chasing after their ends in their cars.
Exactly.
I feel like you can tell the difference between those type of women.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference between a woman who would appreciate a dick pic versus a woman who that probably is not the best way to go.
And what the sad part of this is when I do receive, I never asked for a dick pic. I'm not 20 anymore. They get offended by me saying this is not necessary. This is a turn off.
It's because they want you to be like the women that they want. There's
And
different, and they can go after those women. Those women
Exactly.
are tons. They are
Yes.
out there. They're in the clubs every weekend. They're asking you to buy you drinks all the time. They're in their little skimpy tops and
Exactly.
skimpy shorts.
They're
Go
looking-
after that if that's what you want.
Exactly.
But you see my little skirt is below my knees, baby.
Yes.
Okay? It's going to take a little bit more than a dick pic to get to rising up for you.
Yeah. But men don't even know how to court now. Versus back then. That's what's crazy.
The
So
But
They spend 2 days courting you and feel like that's enough. Either we're
Yes.
having sex or we're not.
Thank you.
But why is it like
I
that?
have no idea.
Why did men used to be romantic and court and open doors and be,
Walk you home.
in that way. Like, for instance, from last year, March until, like, I would say September, I was really, really in love with this person, right? And it was so nice, and it was just a beautiful feeling to have. But as time went on, they started getting weird with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we were in 2 different states. But they started getting short with me. Like, they really didn't have tolerance. And I could feel out, because I'm a feeler, that they didn't like some of the things that I did, which is prescribed as being an independent woman, right?
Thank
so
you. That's
me
exactly
not
what I was gonna
asking
say.
God forbid.
versus just doing and then
Right.
telling was an issue. You know what I'm saying? Because at the point where we were at, I guess I was supposed to be more like a person to consult and ask.
Exactly.
But I'm not used to that in my life. I'm so used to just doing what I need to do.
You run a business.
But
Right.
that's my thing. So that's exactly about the direction I was going. It has nothing to do with pop culture, because I'm sorry, when I was dating, and I think what's happened 10 years ago me to 10 years later me is that I'm more financially secure. I'm very independent. Everything I've done in my life, I've really done on my own. Like, you can't, there's nothing, and I think men are very patriarchal, I'm gonna say it, and want to be seen as providers. And financially, like, they want to be consulted with. They want to make decisions, but the decisions have already been made. We're 40 years old. I'm here. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for in a partnership.
Exactly.
What I'm looking for is emotional intimacy.
Exactly.
And that's where the blockage comes in.
Yes.
And that's where men are like, oh, well, let me just send you a dick pic when you're trying to get emotionally intimate with me. Because they can't handle that piece. And that's what a lot of women are asking for at this point, because every material thing we've already either provided to ourselves or we could provide to ourselves. We don't need men to do that.
Exactly.
But there is this idea from men that, like, oh, well, I need to, you know, if she an independent woman, she don't need me in her life. Let me go to this woman who's in the club begging me to buy her drinks, begging me to do all this stuff, because that's what I'm capable of providing. But that emotional capacity that you want me to reach into and provide for you, I'm sorry, but that's where the game is.
Lack of emotional maturity, because I remember the last time my ex, I told him, you know, I don't need you, but I want you. You don't understand the difference. And he got offended by that. I said, do you understand the difference? Ladies, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate your time. And I'm being ignored by my girlfriends. That's okay. I love them. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm just going to go down the line. Amanda, did you enjoy yourself?
Yes, I did.
You'll be back.
I'll be back. And I'm still hopeful and optimistic, and I'm still looking for love.
Amen. Tamara, boss lady.
So I'm gonna be booed up in like a month and a half to 2 months, because I'm putting it in the atmosphere, you know, manifestation. And we're getting ready for the summer, like, you know, gotta be able to go to these restaurants, bars, and concerts.
Springtime early.
Right.
You, Jess, babe?
Self-love is key.
Yes.
Grace for yourself is also very, very real. I would implore everyone to just have that understanding within themselves, and then anything that you want can
Totally agree.
be attracted to you more so than anything.
Totally agree. And Rachel?
I always agree. I love these types of discussions. I also plan to be booed up by the end of this year. I don't know, in a couple of months. I'm still working on myself, you know. But yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Oh, we might have a lot of dates coming up in the spring.
I have done all the work that I'm gonna do.
Love it.
And whatever happens, happens.
You, Tamara, online or natural?
Never online.
Never online?
I'm scared of online.
However it comes, it comes. I'm open to anything.
At the Stu Leonard's.
That's a stool. Ooh,
Make me there.
yes.
Where?
If you could afford to let it,
See you at
guys,
Stu
thank you
Leonard's.
so much for being here. I appreciate you, beautiful queens. Thank you. See you next, because I have a feeling there's going to be more to come. Peace.